Otto? Good evening. Welcome to our August 5th, 2025 City Council meeting. Right now is 7:01 and the meeting is now in session. Okay, any person wish to address to the City Council during the oral communication must complete a speaker card that is provided at the entry to the council chamber and submit to the card to the city clerk, right now it's assistant city manager right there, prior to commencement of oral communication. A speaker card will not be accepted after oral communication has started. And tonight, invocation will be led by Pastor Matt Chavez, okay, and Matt, okay, long time no see, and welcome back again. I hope you become our continual regular, okay, and I hope you invite us to your event. And we love one of church, okay, and myself will lead us, okay, in the Pledge of Allegiance. All rise, please.
All right, would you all bow your heads and let's pray together? Lord Jesus, we thank you tonight, God, for the great gift of life that you've given to every one of us. And as long as we wake up with breath in the morning, Lord, we know we have purpose and we know you have a plan for us, God. And Lord, we ask you just for your blessing, God, and for the continued gift of community, Lord, and for the privilege of leadership. Lord, I pray a blessing and a favor, Lord, over our city council, Lord, tonight, every conversation, every decision to be made. Lord, I pray that we would continue to seek you and ask more for wisdom in every decision as we pursue righteousness, Lord, and also for compassion to always act with mercy and for humility to always pursue, Lord, to do what's right. We thank you, God, for this great opportunity and the great gift you've given us in our amazing city of West Covina. We thank you in the mighty name of Jesus. Everybody said, amen.
Amen. Please put your right hand to your heart and face the flag and follow my lead. Ready? I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Have a seat, please. Assistant City Manager, roll call, please.
Absolutely. Councilman Contos.
Here.
Councilwoman Diaz.
Here.
Councilmember Gutierrez.
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Lopez Viado.
I think she's out sick.
Okay, let the record reflect that she is absent. And Mayor Wu.
Here.
Mayor, you have a quorum.
Okay, thank you. City Attorney, do you have anything to report out to the closed session?
Nothing to report, Mr. Mayor. Thank you.
Okay, and then, before I move on, and the oral communication.
Mr. Mayor?
Go ahead.
I'm going to be pulling number 2 from the consent calendar today.
So you're going to pull, you're not going to, so we're not going to discuss on
We're not going to discuss number 2 today.
Okay, so number 2 have been pulled and won't be discussed tonight. And all the presentation, and we have one presentation. Okay, that's one of our council member, Ollie Canto, birthday today.
Yay!
And he still show up, and to debate with us, and welcome to the City Council debate forum, and we have a small cake from the city for you.
Aww.
And happy birthday, Ollie Canto.
Oh, thank you. Oh my gosh.
From Eric.
Oh, so nice.
And this is from Portos.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
From Eric.
And I know we have a debate going on, but this is something we want to wish everybody happiness and a happy birthday. And if you guys can have, let's have a happy birthday. You guys ready?
Oh gosh.
1, 2, 3. Happy birthday
to you.
Happy birthday
To you.
Happy birthday, dear Ollie. Happy birthday to you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. I love you guys. Thank you very, very, very much.
Thank you, Mr. Tabai. You are over there so loud. I know you love him. We love him too. Even we have a difference.
Love you.
Well, thank you so much. And then let's go to the next agenda, oral communication. We will now move to oral communication. The comments are limited to 3 minutes per speaker unless modified by the presiding officer or the city council. Request to speak on agenda item will be heard prior to request to speak on non non-agenda item. Member of the public may not engage in behavior that is disruptive to the orderly conduct of the meeting, including but not limited to speak off topic, speaking beyond the speaker allowed time limit, and making slanderous and profane remark or use loud, threatened, or abusive language which disrupt, disturb, impede, or render invisible in the orderly conduct of the meeting. Member of the public may not threaten any person with physical harm or act in the manner that may reasonably be interpreted as an imminent threat of the physical harm. When you hear your name being called, please, you may sit in the front row designate for the public speaker. The time will start when your name is called. And and Assistant City Manager, how many speakers we have tonight?
You have a total of 13 speaker slips.
13 speakers. Okay, go ahead. Okay, first one.
We're going to start with Carmen Ning, followed by Mario Moet, followed by Ana Maria Lopez.
Okay, first speaker. Who's first?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, go ahead. Yeah, right here. Yeah, yes.
How you doing, everybody? Thank you for your time. How you doing?
Sir, would you mind saying your name for the record, please?
Your name?
My name is Mario.
Mario, go ahead, Mario.
Anyways, I was here in May to discuss the street sweeping signs.
Okay.
That I was showing you guys that in La Puente, just south of Stater Brothers, they do it on Mondays and Tuesdays. And here on east of Azusa, they're all on Wednesdays, both sides of the street. And I would explain that there was really no place for the residents to park their cars. I would say 80% of the people on east of Azusa have one-car garage. Okay. And I have 3 vehicles: my wife, mine, and my daughter, my granddaughter. And so 2 have to be in the street because we don't have no space. So if you alternate the streets and do Wednesday on one side, Thursday on the other side, the neighbors can move their cars and then move them back. I don't know. But then I got this a warning citation. It's just, that's why I'm here. I'm here because of this. Once I got this, I emailed everybody. You, Your Honorable Mayor, and Councilwoman Diaz, and God knows who else is on my list here. I just wanted to express, I don't know if anybody showed up. I went around, knocked on doors yesterday and handed out things to tell them there was a meeting today and this was going to be down their agenda. So I just wanted to let you know that I'm back.
Welcome back. Okay.
Well, thank you. So, I also mentioned something about the double yellow line coming in from Azusa Avenue onto Stewart and Holly Oak. There never used to be a yellow line there. Apparently the city ordered to have the yellow painted. However, they didn't dot the inside so you could make it a break so you can go across. So this is coming in from Azusa, Holly Oaks this way, Stewart's over here. If I was here and I wanted to go here, I would cross over 2 double yellows. And this same scenario applies over on the other side coming in from Lark Allen, going into Holly Oak and Stewart. It has the same double yellow lines. Same, they're not broken. They're just like this, except they're on the other side of the intersection. So anyways, in closing, I just wanted to say thank you for your time.
Can you give the information to city manager? So,
sorry?
Can you give all your information to city manager? Okay, and including your address, so he will look into it and see how we can help to improve your neighborhood.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. It's really simple. It's just about making them alternating days. That's all we got to do.
Yes.
I will. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Can you give the information to the city manager right here? Yeah.
Email me your information.
And then can you provide the information? Yeah, you got his information? Okay, next speaker, please.
Okay, our next speaker is Carmen Ning, followed by Ana Maria Lopez.
My name's Carmen. Like Mario, I'm here to speak about the street sweeping. Obviously, it's inevitable.
Lower your mic, please. Yeah.
It's inevitable. We're not asking you to take down the signs or anything, but it's just unreasonable. Same day, same time, both sides. I work from home, and I think many of us, we don't have just 1 or 2 cars, right? A driveway fits, max 2 cars. Our household has like 6 cars. So I work from home. We have, my mother-in-law, she is essentially kind of disabled. She just had knee surgery, back surgery. I can't park 10, 12 blocks, walk over there, get the car, pick her up, you know. I'm just asking, just like in LA, I born and raised in LA, every other day, I get the signs are already up on, you know, Wednesdays on both sides, but alternate. One week it's the left side of the street. The next week it's the other side. That's what we do in East LA. So I really would hope you guys would reconsider both days at the same time. You know, it's a challenge, and you're asking us, where am I supposed to park my car? Like, I'm not telling you guys to take down the signs. You know, it needs to be done. I get it. You know, I want our streets to be clean, but it's kind of unreasonable though, right? Blocks, I have to walk like 10, I was like counting, looking at the map. I have to walk like 20 minutes to park out of the zone, you know? So I would just really think you guys should reconsider, like alternate it, please.
Okay.
Yeah,
And then would you please provide your information to city?
Yeah, what information do you need? Like
and the address, the neighborhood, so he can help us to improve your neighborhoods for accommodate what you need.
Similar to what Mario said, I mean, it's an easy fix. Like,
I know the address. We have their information. Okay. Next speaker, please.
Next speaker is Ana Maria Lopez.
I'm also here about the street sweeping. I know our neighborhoods need it, but the way the signs are put up, they're not clear. And it's not something new in our neighborhood. I live in a border town where it's West Covina, La Puente. There's a flood channel that divides. So the houses behind my backyard by the flood channel is La Puente. They've had street sweeping, and the way their signs are set up are clear. It will say entire block, or there's arrows to indicate both streets. And then they have a different time frame. One will be on a Monday, one will be on a Tuesday, which that makes sense. And sometimes they park in my neighborhood. So 2 months ago, you guys came with your signs. High Castle, there's two entrances to come in through West Covina or La Puente. It's a long street, and there's two cul-de-sacs. So both of them have a sign as you're going in, so it does indicate the street sweeping. But the main street, High Castle, there's two signs on this side, but this side there's no signs. So people have been parking there because there's no signs. They came by and they gave everybody citations. That does not make sense. If there's no sign clearly posted, why are you guys going to give citations to people to park? If you do not want us to park on High Castle on this side, then the sign on this side has to have an arrow indicating entire block or the left and right. There's only signs on one side of High Castle. And so I don't know where is everyone from the cul-de-sac going to park in High Castle, because we can't go over to La Puente because they also have street sweeping that same day, even though it's a different city, but they have their schedule. And then there's another sign when you're coming up the street. As you're coming up, there is a sign that says entire street sweeping, but no entire sign, no arrow, no entire block. But it's right on the corner where you turn. So when you come down the main street, High Castle, people don't know that that sign is indicator for there because there's no arrow pointing down High Castle. Your signs are not clear. And the way they're facing is not clear. So people that don't know the area, they're not going to know. And because you can go in both ways. So if you're coming this way, you're not going to see the sign that's here that's facing this way as if you're coming this way. And nowadays, a lot of people have to live with their parents, sisters, and stuff. So you have multiple cars. I mean, is there any way to change it where it's like a Monday and then a Wednesday? I mean, they work Monday through Friday. It's not much that we're asking for. It's just be reasonable with people. People have to leave early to go to work. And the street sweeping is not from 12 to 4. But if you leave at 7 o'clock, you're not, at 7 in the morning, you're not there to move your car by 1 o'clock so you don't get the citation. So it's just like, I came here, they said there's nothing they could do. I showed them pictures of the sign. They said they're still going to work on it, so I don't know if you guys are going to put another sign on the other side of High Castle or just keep one sign on one side of High Castle and expect people to know you guys are independent.
Thank you so much.
Your time?
Hold on. High Castle, right? Do you have an address? You got it? Thank you. Next speaker, please.
Right. Mayor, we have Ernesto Garcia, followed by Cindy, followed by Tammy.
Good evening, council members. Cities up and down California have taken a stand on warrantless masked men kidnapping not only undocumented workers, but citizens, veterans, and even minors. Some cities have filed to join a federal lawsuit against ICE, challenging the legality of unconstitutional tactics, such as using a person's race as a sole basis to detain and disappear them. As a minimum, West Covina could adopt a similar set of measures to what the Los Angeles County Board of Supervisors has just passed. They would ban law enforcement from wearing masks and force them to clearly identify themselves. LA County has also commissioned an economic impact study to determine workforce losses, affected industries, any property damage, and long-term effects on business. We ask West Covina to do the same or join the lawsuits. I personally would like to see how this is affecting school attendance and what revenue West Covina USC might be losing as a result of frightened parents and children deciding against coming to school. Why not show your residents that you stand behind them and move forward? And I don't just ask that rhetorically, Brian Gutierrez. If you choose not to move forward, I'm sure we would all start to wonder exactly why. Just a couple of days ago, the group I came here today with started a petition to request that you adopt the actions I just described. With not much effort at all, that petition is nearing 300 signatures. Before this petition, there was a march, which we also organized very hastily, I think over the course of a couple of days. And I would put the total marchers that day at about 500. Can you imagine what we could pull off if we started knocking on the doors of your constituents, showing up at local events where people gather, or started making phone calls? Last time a few of us brought this up, a couple of you turned the focus somehow to violence against police, something of which there is no evidence for whatsoever in West Covina. We ask again now, please stand with your residents, a majority of which are Latino. Council members, stand with us. I ask you with my heart, I ask you, stand with us. This council has a proximity to bigotry, and it's a problem for you. We don't want to make it a bigger problem. What we want to do is work with you on this issue, this one issue. And we ask you to stand up publicly so that we know that you're behind us. Most of the people in this town look like I do. They have my skin color. Show us that you care about that. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, next speaker, please.
Next speaker is Cindy.
Good evening, Mayor and council members. I come before you today as a concerned community member who wants to make sure everyone in our city is protected, no matter their skin color or immigration status. All other cities in LA County have stepped up to protect their residents. West Covina should be leading with them, not lagging behind. Here are some actions we need to see from you. One is we must ban all ICE agents from wearing masks or face coverings while on duty. There's a growing concern about public safety with potential impersonation of officers kidnapping people off the streets. Well, why not join LA County and the ACLU in this lawsuit that challenges ICE and CBP for racially targeting unlawful raids and denying due process? 2, provide your community with proper education on how to protect themselves. We need regular multilingual know your rights legal training, outreach for grants and resources, and tangible support for those impacted. And lastly, create an action plan on how West Covina plans to support residents and businesses. These raids have impacted families and local businesses, devastating and damaging our local economy. Silence or excuses are not acceptable. We are watching closely to see what you will do, and we will hold you accountable to the promises you make. Our community is counting on you to protect all of us. Thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker, please.
Next speaker is Tammy.
Greetings. I have a daughter who's 8 years old. This morning on the way to school, and she is brown. She said, "Mama, what if they take me today? Mama, what if they take me today?" And I said, "Honey, you were born here." And she said, "I don't think it matters anymore." I also want you to think, many of the councils, if you were, some of you with your last names or with your accents, can you imagine if you were just doing yard work or had to go to Home Depot and work, clothes that you wore to do your gardening? Can you imagine? And then you were started to chatting with someone that you saw, a constituent, in the Home Depot parking lot. And then all of a sudden ICE drives by and they see someone with an accent. They see someone with the name Diaz. They see someone with brown skin. They see you with tattered clothes, dirty hands because you were doing gardening. You could be taken too. So I'm going to ask you to sit here for the next 45 seconds and think about what you're going to do. So my daughter doesn't say, Mama, are they going to take me today? So I just want to ask for a moment. I'm using my time for silence, so it gives you time to think about what you will do. So little girls that go to Portos or maybe accompany their kid to the DMV aren't afraid to be taken. I hope you use that moment to reflect on what the brown kids are thinking and what those people are thinking that have been taken. Thank you.
Thank you. And the next speaker, please.
Next speaker is Josh Murray, followed by Yamin Salahuddin, followed by Brian Calderon Tabatabai.
Hi, good evening, Mayor, members of the council. My name is Josh Murray. I'm here on behalf of West Covina Library. On Thursday, August 21st, from 3 to 4 p.m., children between the ages of 7 and 12 are invited to learn about simple machines like gears, levers, and more, then combine them to create their very own chain reaction contraptions. Registration is available on our website, lacountylibrary.org. And I would also like to remind the community that the West Covina Library will reopen for service at 10 a.m. on Thursday, August 21st. And I thank you for your time.
Welcome, Josh.
Thank you.
Okay, next speaker, please.
Next speaker is Yamin Salahuddin.
Good evening, Council. My name is Yamin Salahuddin. I'm an attorney with an office here in West Covina. I want to join the other citizens who've spoken here today in asking the city to conduct an economic impact study on the ICE raids, the economic effect of the ICE raids here in our city. I want to know if those raids are impacting foot traffic and thereby hurting our businesses. I want to know if those raids are impacting school attendance and therefore damaging our kids' educational funding. I also want to ask that the city adopt a ban on federal agents wearing masks when they're conducting their enforcement activities here in the city. Our police, West Covina police, have the guts to show their faces when they perform their duties here in our streets, and it doesn't make any sense that federal authorities shouldn't have the same standard. And I understand the idea that these are federal activities and our city doesn't have the authority to stop them from doing anything, but that misses the point. Your efforts to stand up and tell the world what this city believes in are significant to the families here. And it's important that we find out who our city council supports. Are you going to back up the people of this city, or are you going to back up the felon in Washington, D.C.? The city of West Covina, the people of the city of West Covina want to know. Well, I also think it'd be emotionally supportive and significant if each member of the city council would publicly state their opposition to ICE raids here in our city. If any of you don't have the courage to do so, then publicly state that you agree with the raids. We want to know where you stand. The people of West Covina are watching you. We're going to post you on social media. We're going to find out where your loyalties lie. Do they lie with us, or do they lie with them? We're asking you, don't govern us, govern yourselves accordingly. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And next speaker, please.
Next speaker is Brian Calderon Tabatbai.
Good evening, everyone. I want to start by addressing something, and I'd like the attorney to look into the not allowing folks to turn in their cards while public comment is still going on. According to the California Government Code, as long as public comment is on, people should be allowed to turn in their cards and be able to speak. And so the restriction on speech, I can understand the time limit. I can understand once public comment is completely done, but while public comment is happening, especially when the council time of public comment isn't consistent, right? When we have a lot of presentations, public comment could happen at 8 o'clock. If we have no presentations like we had today, public comment starts really early. And so the fact that I've already seen 4 people come up and be denied their comment cards, I think is bad practice, is bad governance. Okay, so I just want to make sure to put that on the record. As for my comments tonight, we started school today. This whole week and this weekend, teachers across the state, we spent our times not getting our lesson plans ready, not getting our bulletin board ready, but instead we were in professional development on how to protect our students. We were in Know Your Rights trainings. We were in community patrol trainings. This morning, a group of us were outside of the high school I teach at, making sure that our students were able to enter safely and not be abducted. We've come to this council before. We've asked you to write, and I ask you, Mayor Wu, to write a letter in support of SB 627, SB 805 that will require law enforcement to not wear masks and also to wear badges that identify themselves. So that way, when an incident like in San Bernardino, where ICE agents refused to identify themselves, where they broke the window of a father and his son and shot at them 3 times, that family can take recourse at that abuse of power. So the officers that illegally detained Arletta special ed student, 15-year-old American citizen, was illegally detained by ICE. So Miguel Contreras student, Benjamin Marcelo Guerrero Cruz, who again was abducted by walking his dog. Again, we have masked men who are terrorizing our community. Dozens have been taken from West Covina, from the Home Depot, from the car washes. And most troubling is the images I've been sent of WCPD with ICE agents. Again, I ask you to join the lawsuit, the ACLU lawsuit, to end these raids. Thank you.
Thank you, Brian. Okay, next speaker, please.
Next speaker, Mayor, we have Hollywood, followed by Sherry Brulian, followed by Dr. Bree.
Mayor, can I say something?
Okay, can we finish this?
There was 3. It was actually 3 residents. So if it's okay, if they could turn in their cards, there was just 3 of them.
Let's finish. Okay. Next speaker, please.
Okay, I will announce it one more time. Hollywood, followed by Sherry Brulian, followed by Dr. Bree.
Okay. Who is next speaker?
Looks like Hollywood is here.
Okay, next speaker.
Sherry Brulian.
Sherry.
Okay. I have a list, so I'm going to try and get this really quick. My name is Sherry Brulian. I'm a resident of 58 years of the city of West Covina. Thank you for moving that sign. It was distracting. If you watch you guys on YouTube, you two disappeared into it. You could not even see you at all. Mm-hmm. So that sign does not belong back here. You've got a lot of blank walls to move it. Don't put it back here again. Second thing is the health department. Letty's not here tonight, but at one of the meetings, Letty said, well, everyone in the city had a chance to sign the petition. Not true. During the time that the petition was being circulated, we're in the middle of a pandemic. Nobody answered the doors when people went. So they just had to hop from park to park, and we had to find them in order to sign that petition. So I'd like this city council to put your money where your mouth is. If you really believe the health department should go through, put it on the ballot. We already have 3 elections in 2026, put this one on. It won't cost that much more, and let us residents decide. And the second thing is our maintenance yard. You want to sell a maintenance yard? Ridiculous? No. You had Trawick, I think it's Trawick, give us the plans, $758,000 for nothing more than blueprint plans for a state-of-the-art fire department. But you have never come to this diocese ever and said it's going to cost us this much to move the fire department and this much to move the maintenance yard. Until you have an ironclad with at least $100,000 override, what it's going to cost to build the fire department and the maintenance yard, you have no business playing with our tax dollars to sell something that belongs to us because that's something that you guys want. That I need to see from you exactly what that cost is going to be, and you have never, ever said anything about it. Just sell the yard for money. That's irresponsibility.
Thank you, Sherry.
As for the ticketing, for the street sweeping, you guys have done it again. You didn't have a plan. You started a plan. Instead of placating everybody and saying, well, we're going to look into it. Quit looking into it. Put a stop to the entire thing until you guys come up with a plan, and then come back to the city with it.
Thank you, Sherry. Next speaker, please.
Dr. Bree.
Can I say something? Oh, I didn't even start talking when it started.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead, please.
It started before I opened my mouth.
When your name's called, okay, I announce that.
So when my name's called before I get out of my seat?
Okay, would you please start it? I can give you more seconds if you want, please.
Yeah, if you can, 20 more seconds.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, great, thank you. Great, thank you. Hi, Dr. Bree Serrano. I'm a faculty member and also administrator in higher education at Claremont Colleges. So I'm here today similarly to advocate in terms of joining the federal mask ban with Los Angeles County. There's a lot of argument in terms of how it would be enforced. Feel free to contact Los Angeles County Board of Supervisors as their lawyers are working on the ordinance itself. That would be taking place in about 45 days now. And I would also emphasize that the immigration raids locally in Covina and the city of West Covina and the surrounding areas have not only devastated families, but have severely impacted local economy. Myself and others have gone around to local businesses to ask them how they're doing. A lot of them are in fear for their lives. Not only just the business owners, but people who work there, as well as the constituents who come to the actual businesses themselves, especially specifically Mexican stores, the folks who are vendors who sell to the community, people who are just on the street and trying to make money themselves. And so oftentimes people like myself and others are pulling out of our own personal pocket just to make sure they get home safely. So I would advocate, if that's not something that you all would like to do in terms of your own policies, to put forth on the city and the police officers, take out of your own pockets and a percentage of your salary you're getting out of the city of West Covina to put towards immigrants in their own pockets. So the city of Seattle police chief has said himself, he is more than willing to be jailed and detained on behalf of his citizens and residents that he oversees. Everyone has their line when it comes to this issue. I want to know, what is your line? What are you going to stand on? What are you willing to lose your job for and be voted out for? And I'm not asking that rhetorically, I'm being serious. Because this is one of those moments in history where you're going to have to decide that. And it's terrifying. I carry around my global entry card with me every single place that I go, and I have it in my wallet right now. My dad was at a park nearby the other day. He saw an ICE agent standing, staring at him. He was by himself. I was on the phone with him, and I talked to him, and I said, Papa, go immediately to your vehicle right now. We were both born here, and my grandparents picked in the fields. I'm a PhD now. That happened in 2 generations, right? There are people who are not going to be able to exist any longer because they're in alligator Auschwitz, who are dying. There are children there dying. And the police here, go ahead and keep looking at the clock. There are police here who are not willing to enforce the county temporary protective order. So please make your decisions.
Thank you, sir. Okay, next speaker, please.
Next speaker is Bill Elliott.
Next speaker.
Bill Elliott, he's on his way.
Okay.
Good evening, City Council. I am the real Bill Elliott. And I just want to say how happy I am to live in a community like West Covina. So many positive things. Our police department, our independent police department, our independent fire department, our parks, and the law-abiding nature of the citizens of West Covina. The speakers before me talking about the immigration, the ICE raids. Those people that they're looking for are here illegally. And the ones they're arresting, they're here illegally. They entered without invitation or permission. And they do not deserve to be in this country.
Excuse me, please.
So I stand here tonight to tell you how thankful I am that these little efforts at trying to make federal agents not carry or not wear a mask or put on a uniform and not have plain clothes. Well, I don't know if anybody's noticed, but they drive plain cars that don't look like law enforcement officers, and they wear plain clothes because they're undercover. And, you know, it's not about grabbing people that are brown, like these racists, like Brian Tabatabai just got up and said. It's not about that. When their agents go to Home Depot, you don't have to guess who's illegal because it's all the people that are running away. So today, I'm so thankful we have a president with balls to enforce existing law, that's been on the books for a very long time. And no president before him no president before him has had the courage to enforce law, federal immigration law.
Please.
So I encourage and I admire these agents. If I was a young man, I'd go be one myself. So when people get up here and they say this is about race and we want to hold you accountable, I don't know if any of you fools who are advocating for these people that are here illegally have noticed, but every member of the West Covina City Council is a conservative. Don't come preach your trash here in West Covina.
Okay, thank you. Okay, thank you, sir. Okay, please. Okay, please. Let's respect each other, please. It's a freedom of speech. Okay, we all have to bear with that, please. Okay, and thank you so much. Okay, we have to be here as a community. We listen to all sides. I know sometimes this and that, but we have to open our ear, please. Thank you so much. Thank you. Okay, and do we have any other speaker?
We have no more speaker slips.
Okay, but okay, who is coming and late? And would you please? Okay, come to speak? Okay, and yes, since you're already here, and we have no presentation, so and we want to listen to you. So again, freedom of speech. Everybody have a chance to speak. Okay, and come over here. A next speaker, please. You have a car?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Yep. Okay. The first speaker, please. How many we have? 3?
We have a total of 3. The first one is Christian Amaya.
Christian, would you please come up?
Followed by Brian B. Followed by Ms. Serrano.
Yep. Hey, you're driving far away. You come over here. We want to listen. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. Go ahead. Would you please, Michael? Yeah.
Sorry, first time.
Yeah, no problem.
Mine is just, I'm not sure if it's regarding street cleaning necessarily, but we have an empty lot near our area on Dever Street, right across the hospital, that currently has...
Queensville Valley?
I think so. It's Dever Street. It's across in that area.
No Devon Street, right? City manager? Yes. Go ahead.
Currently, there's a lot of weeds, bugs going there. Our community's been clearing it out, the areas that we're allowed to. But we can only do so much. It's spreading across our neighborhood, a lot of the bugs and stuff like that, and a lot of the weeds. We've called a few times in regards to cleaning it up, including the area that's not part of the lot, but near the street that's part of it, to clear it out. So we're just requesting for it to be cleaned up and cleared.
So they have been cleaning it up before? They did, right?
A long time ago. After that, it was us, the community, that was cleaning it up on our end.
Got it. Would you please give the address, location to city manager?
Sure.
We'll make sure we will take care for you.
Also, unrelated, I do stand with my community when it comes to what they're saying about.
Yeah, I agree. Okay. Thank you so much. Next speaker, please. Can you put down the... Okay, you got it? Okay, next speaker, please.
Next speaker is Brian B.
Brian, go ahead.
Oh, hello, council members. First, I'd like to give my thanks to the gentleman who submitted his comments about cards being able to be turned in while public commentary is still being given. Thank you for that. I'd also like to apologize to the speakers who are speaking on topics that are much more serious than just street sweeping. But that said, this topic does have a very simple answer, which is just alternate days. You're essentially making the entire street unusable.
Can you have your address, location?
I'm not going to submit my address. I just put my area code because it's not specific to my street or my address. It's affecting a ton of the city. And since not everybody is speaking, if you could raise your hand for those of you who are concerned about street sweeping here, then the reason you're here, thank you. I've never been to a city that's done this, whether I've parked my car in Long Beach or Laverne or Santa Monica. Everybody had the foresight to not make it on the same day at the same time. Don't know why that happened here, but it's a simple fix, hopefully. Alternate the routes to alternate the times. Thank you.
Very good. Thank you so much. Next speaker.
Your next speaker is Ms. Serrano.
Hello. Hello, City Council and City. I want to start by saying thank you to the city and all the hard work that goes on every day. I know there's difficult topics, but I appreciate all the hard work. In terms of allowing us to speak, thank you. I have 2 jobs, and I made time to come and speak today, and so thank you for allowing me the time. I want to stand in solidarity with our undocumented communities and to remind people that it's not only people that are undocumented that are being targeted, actually people of color are being targeted just for being Latino. And there's children that are being taken even though they are documented. And so I stand in solidarity with all our community. We shouldn't have to live in fear. I actually am concerned about my kids just walking because a masked person could come and kidnap them under some sort of federal guise. Now, myself, if anybody came with a mask without any type of identification, I would have to defend me and my family. So that is not safe for our community, and those people are in unsafe situations by expecting us to comply. Lastly, the main reason why I came by is because of the street sweeping mandates that you guys have. I think that your city has existed for 100 years without these additional fees, and I think we'll be fine for the next 100 years. It is absolutely not just inconvenient. It's like an economic toll on our community. They shouldn't have to be stressed about getting ticketed. A lot of us have more than 2 cars in our community, let alone cul-de-sac. We have multiple beautiful cul-de-sacs, and there's no way to fit all those cars, not even on just one side of the street. Now let's talk about the additional stress of like where we're going to park our cars and all the parking wars. Like, do we really need additional stress for unnecessary things? We've had a street sweeper before. It was successful. This seems like a money grab. It seems like a really sleazy money grab. And I think that we could continue to do what we're doing without this. This is actually tangibly affecting the pockets and the stress of your constituents, and it's unnecessary. So just pretty much sharing that. I hope you guys do the right thing because we're all concerned. And there's been neighboring cities that I had actually decided not to live in because of qualitative factors like this. Having to move my car every single week, people get a lot of tickets. I've actually had to have my car removed because of all these compounded tickets before in the past in other cities. And I chose not to live in those cities because that's ridiculous. That's a hassle. Lastly is please make a statement on your stand on not just undocumented communities, but the climate of fear. And I am actually pretty grateful for our school, our police here, but I would like for our police actually to also make a statement that they support the community.
Thank you so much. So we're done with the speaker, right?
Yes, we are done.
Okay, very good. Okay, thank you for all the speakers for share with your thought, and then we listen and hear city manager. Now you have to respond.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. For the people that commented on street sweeping tonight, Mario, Carmen, Anne Marie, Brian, Ms. Serrano, that's one of the topics on the agenda tonight, and the council will be discussing that a little bit further on in the presentation. Anne-Marie, I will check the signs on High Castle, the signage from Gladbrook on both sides there. And also, Mario, I'll check Azusa, Stewart, Hollyoak, coming in off of Azusa and Lark Ellen. Sherry, thank you for your comments on the Health Department, City Yard, Fire Department, and also street sweeping. Ernesto, Cindy, Tammy, Yasmin, Yemen, Brian Tabatabai, Dr. Bree, Bill Elliott, Ms. Serrano, thank you for your comments and recommendations on ICE tactics, federal immigration enforcement. Josh from the West Covina Library, thank you for your updates on the library. And Christian, on that property on Devers, we will investigate the bug issue and get that property cleaned up. I believe that concludes my comments for tonight.
Okay, and a manager report, please.
Just changing. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. The City of West Covina's Cortez Park Community and Senior Center and the City of Doherty's Senior Center collaborated to bring summer fun to senior citizens. Participants enjoyed a meal prepared by Senior Center's chefs Holly and Teresa, danced to the jams of DJ Phil, and an ice cream bar. Huge thank you to our sponsor, Provideer Research Incorporated. The Palmview Park and Community Center held its annual Summer Adaptive Barbecue on Thursday, August 14th, held in collaboration with the West Covina Police Department and the West Covina Police Officers Association. The event featured a lively atmosphere with music, dancing, arts and crafts, and a balloon twisting. Attendees enjoyed a delicious hamburger meal donated by Norms and cooked by West Covina PD. The event provided an opportunity for participants to interact with local police officers in a friendly, supportive environment, enhancing community relations and promoting inclusivity. Overall, it was a successful event that celebrated diversity and strengthened community bonds. This year, National Night Out was held in conjunction with the city's annual Touch a Truck event on Tuesday, August 5th. The community had the opportunity to meet and greet with West Covina PD, take photos with first responders, interact with the vehicles that keep West Covina moving forward. Live entertainment, vendors, food, and attractions were also part of this event. The event took place at the West Covina Civic Center from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. The pavilion canopy at the West Covina Sportsplex is in final stages of its repair. A walkthrough to confirm work will take place this Friday. The latest edition of the Discover West Covina was released online earlier this month. Explore new classes, special events, activities, and learn about the latest projects and initiatives in West Covina by reading the Discover. The Discover is available on the City of West Covina's website. The 2025 State of the City is right around the corner. This year, the city is highlighting West Covina's businesses with awards to recognize the work and investment or our business community. While a number of awards will be given out, we are asking the community's assistance with one special award, the People's Choice Award. This award will be given to the West Covina-based business that receives the most nominations at the State of the City event on Thursday, September 4th, 2025. Businesses can nominate online by visiting the City of West Covina's website. Some of our upcoming events, State of the City, will be at the West Covina Sportsplex, 5:30 to 8:30 p.m. on Thursday, September 4th, and our District 1 Town Hall meeting will be held here at West Covina City Hall, 5:30 to 7:30 on Thursday, August 21st. And that concludes my presentation for tonight.
Okay, thank you so much, city managers and other city council member. Have any question? Otherwise, I want to move.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
The picture you showed of the pavilion, are they going to put back the fans in there, the air vents? Or you're going to have it super hot in there, but
Yes, we want to keep it super hot in the efforts of letting people get the sweat and the toxins out of their body. No, for the event, we will ensure that it is ventilated and that there is air movement throughout the facility. So if that was the concern.
Or like in
that
the
will be
long run,
addressed.
it's there's the air ones, the air outtakes are going to be put back up?
We can report back to you after Friday or what the status of that is.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other city council? Go ahead.
Yes, Mr. Mayor. Mr. Acting City Manager, can you talk about the AT&T report giveaway, please?
Yeah, this is a good one.
Would you like me to?
The AT&T. About the AT&T.
Would you like me to jump in?
Yes.
Okay, I will jump in. Through the chair, if I may, and I apologize. Earlier this month, the Cortez Park Community and Senior Center, in partnership with AT&T and Human IT, provided free refurbished laptops to 100 seniors in our community. Special thanks to our Councilman Contos. Mayor Tony Wu hosted the event with our council members, Councilmember Gutierrez, Councilwoman Diaz, and Mayor Pro Tem Lopez Viado in support and present for the event. We look forward to giving our seniors the opportunity to learn about their new devices. AT&T and Human IT have promised to come back and to provide training to our seniors. So we're not just giving them a laptop and sending them on their way. We're also giving them the tools that they need in order to navigate their new technology. So again, my apologies and thank you for bringing that up. Councilman Contos.
Yes, we have a lot of pictures for that day, and I want to thank. I think this is event is start with Councilman Kento. I think it's you to approach AT&T. Am I right?
Yes.
Yeah, I just want to give you the credit. So this is not from me or from the city. It's from our Councilman Oli Kento to approach about some kind of donation, and they react to Councilman Kento and to provide 100 refurbished laptop. And to our senior and 100 seniors over there is very, very happy. It's like a Christmas time. Got a free gift.
And Mr. Mayor, they also all received lifetime access to the Microsoft Word suite as well. So
could you believe it?
Day.
I hope they don't sell on the eBay. Okay, I hope I don't give to their grandkids. They have to learn how to use the computer. Anybody else? Otherwise, I'm moving to consent calendar, and we have a 1 to 15. Any council want to pull any item?
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
I want to move 16 and 17 up to the front, and then I want to pull 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 12, and 14.
Okay, which one? Number 4?
I want to...
Well, hold on. Which one you want to pull? I'm asking which one you want to pull. Which one you want to pull?
4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
4, 5, 6. How about you want to pull 1 to 15? 1 to
4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
4, 5, 6,
7, 8, 12, and 14. And then move items number 16 and 17 to the front.
No, we go to the moving, and consent calendar first. So 4, 5.
Well, I want to make a motion to move numbers 16 and 17 to the front because it involves street sweeping programs and city audit.
Which one you want? You want to pull thing or you want to move 16? Which one you want to go first?
We could. I want to move 16 and 17 to the front with 16 going first.
Yes, you want.
Then after 17.
So 16, the street sweeping go first.
Yes, and then 17.
And then, but we go to a consent calendar. And then which one you want to pull? 4 or 5?
So 16, 17, and then
16, 17 is already not a consent calendar.
I know. I want to pull it up.
You want to go there first right now?
Yes.
Okay, so you want to, before the consent calendar, you want to go to 16 and 17?
Yes.
Do I have a second? I think we should go to consent calendar first, rather than just moving around. So you want to move 16, 17, go first?
Yeah, because I think everyone hears about street sweeping and probably want to know about the audit too. So.
Okay, so you want to move 60, 70, so we are going to put consent calendar right now?
Yes.
So basically your motion is move 16 and 17, go first?
Yes.
Okay, anybody second? Okay, anybody against this? Okay, then we go to number 16 first, street sweeping. Okay, do a presentation?
I'm going to give an introduction to it. Yes, Mr. Mayor.
Go ahead.
Thank you. Mayor Will, members of the City Council, staff is asking that the City Council provide direction on our current street sweeping program. Little background, on December 5th, 2023, the City Council directed staff to transition from bi-weekly street sweeping schedule to a weekly schedule. On October 15th, 2024, the City Council awarded a contract for the purchase and installation of new street sweeping signs. On February 4th, 2025, staff presented proposed amendments to the street sweeping section of the municipal code, establishing effective dates and outlining when and where the no parking on street sweeping days regulations would be implemented within the city. On July 21st, 2025, public safety officers began issuing street sweeping warning notices throughout the city. Since the start of our street sweeping signage installation and the issuance of warning notices, staff have received ample feedback from residents, both in support of the program and with concerns. Supportive feedback has included observations of cleaner streets and fewer abandoned vehicles. Conversely, some residents have expressed concerns regarding limited parking availability during the designated street sweeping periods. Under the current program, the city is divided into 5 zones, each scheduled for street sweeping the day after its designated trash collection day. Within each zone, streets are further subdivided into 3 4-hour time slots during which on-street parking is restricted. Additionally, staff identified areas with high-density housing that require an alternative approach. In these areas, an alternate side street sweeping schedule was implemented to accommodate the higher volume of parked vehicles. Based on input received from residents and directions from the City Council, staff have evaluated alternative program options for the Council's considerations. These options aim to address community concerns while maintaining an effective street cleaning program that complies with air and water quality regulations. The following 3 program options have been prepared for your consideration. Revise the program to include alternate side sweeping routes and restrictions. Continue with the approved same-side zone-based street sweeping routes and restrictions. Address residents' concerns on a case-by-case basis. To accommodate alternate side restrictions in a cost-effective manner, staff proposes using custom stickers that can be affixed over the existing signage to indicate the alternate side restriction schedule. Based on changing approximately 5,200 signs, it is estimated that each sticker would cost roughly $16.50, resulting in a total estimated cost of $86,237 for sticker fabrication and installation. The number can increase or decrease depending on the final route proposed by Nationwide, which may include an alternative route. In addition to updating the signage, the third-party street sweeping vendor would need to revise its current sweeping routes. Due to the decreased operational efficiency associated with alternate side sweeping, the city would incur additional service costs. The estimated annual cost to revise the current contract for these services would increase by $935,124 a year. The total estimated implementation cost to transition from same-side street sweeping to alternate side street sweeping, including the required public safety vehicles, equipment, and staff, would be a little over $1,333,000 for the first year. This amount would cover updates to signage, an increased street sweeping contract, and additional enforcement staffing. After the first year, it is estimated that the annual cost of the transitioning from same-side street sweeping to alternate side sweeping would be $1,092,124. Mayor Will and members of the council, I'd be happy to answer any questions you may have.
Mr. Mayor?
Yeah, go ahead. Okay, Councilman Kento.
Thank you, Mr. Acting City Manager. Can the higher costs be offset by examining areas that require less maintenance? So that way, let's say right now there might be weekly street sweeping, but there's some areas that are just low maintenance because there isn't a lot of traffic. So then that way it would lower the cost from that estimated cost of more than $1 million.
Depending on the direction from the council, Mr. Councilman, other options as directed by the council can be considered.
Okay.
Any other council question? Go ahead. Okay, Councilman.
Yeah, I think has city staff been collecting all the data of residents who have complained about regarding their streets?
Yes, we have.
Okay, and so would that be considered case by case basis, addressing those concerns by making those streets alternate schedules?
It's safe to say that we've had concerns on most streets in the city, if not all, the exception of some of the ones maybe in the hillsides. But throughout the city, in all the different service areas, we've had concerns about alternate side sweeping.
So are you saying the whole city wants it changed, or?
Yeah, I'm kind of confused too.
Yeah.
Yeah, what is the solution?
I would say we've received concerns from every part of the city. That's correct.
Okay. So we probably should tell you to go renegotiate the deal with Nationwide then? Wouldn't that be more logical? Or
that item was pulled for tonight, but if the council were to increase or go to a different plan, yes, it would increase the costs.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I just want to know what's the cost breakdown, because it sounds like vague to me, because when this started, okay, and what the resident want is we want to have a clean city, and we want to, weekly street sweeping after trash day, okay, and so now we need to know how to be more convenient, because that time they want to do maybe 5-6 hours, we said too long, we want to cut down to 3-4 hours, okay, less impact to, convenient for the people to park back and this and that, so they changed, to like 3 or 4 hours, but kind of we missed about the same area, the same time, because we're not professional. We depend on the professional, the traffic engineers, the Nationwide to tell us what is a sufficient way, and plus to install the sign. And the idea is not trying to find people, it's trying to clean the street. So anytime when they clean, and then the right away resident can park back. So it's not like these 3-4 hours they have to be no parking at all. But again, allow the street sweeper to clean the street weekly, and then especially for some of the street, some cars that never been moved. So hopefully can help with this. But the point is this. Now here's the issue. I think why I received the email and the resident, they're very cooperative. They're willing to say, hey, this is good to clean our street. But I think the way is how we can make them more convenient rather than walking 6 blocks. This is ridiculous. And last time the lady said 2 o'clock after she finished her job, she had to walk 2 o'clock in the morning. That's ridiculous. And the father have to pick her up. So we need to make sure area. So here is what will be the cost. And if we go to alternate, and this street over here, street over there, what is the cost, and can we change the sign? So the first thing is, what is the solution? The second thing, what is the cost? Third thing, how soon we can, if we decide to do this, how soon we can implement so the people can really obey, not obey, they will cooperate so that we can clean the street. The idea is to clean the street, weekly. It's not trying to give people fine or anything. So did you have a cost analysis? If we do, and because right now I think I received maybe 20 or 15 about email regarding the issue. So about the alternate, and we know some apartment area or some street, they are much more condensed, with and the area, so they have no parking. So how can we accommodate, for them to have a way to park? Do you have a number? So at least we can know what we get into it and make a right decision to be convenient and affordable at the same time. Which one would be better for everybody?
So through our report an issue app, through emails, phone calls, we've probably captured about 800 residents that have contacted us regarding signage issues and the fact that they wanted alternate street sweeping sides. To break down the costs, if on your report, it breaks down a one-time and a reoccurring cost if we were to go to alternate side of the street. So in summary, so right now, under the current contract, current staffing levels, and the current signage and route as it exists, it costs the city about $1.8 million a year for the street.
How much?
$1.8 million.
$1.8 million?
That's correct.
$1.8 million for alternate?
No, that is the current program. If we were to go to alternate...
Not 1.3?
No, you got to factor in the staff costs.
What staff?
The enforcement staff. I'm going off budgeted numbers. No, I'm talking about the existing program.
Why will we need to hire more enforcement
I didn't
staff?
say that.
I'm going off. I'm talking about
so
what
what
existing is right now.
Okay.
So, but what is the nationwide current contract supposed to be discussed tonight? Is 1.3, right?
Yes.
1.4. So if I want to apple, I'm talking about 1.4 or 1.3. But if we change the alternate, how much increase? I think it will be much easier to understand. Okay, if we go to entire city or case by case, because some areas they're okay, some area they have a problem. So we change into the area have the issue first. Okay, and then we make sure, because last time we're talking about you already have a public safety follow the street sweeper, and they already find out which the location have the issue around the school. When they drop out their kid, they absolutely need to change the time. Okay, and some area have apartment, they really have a hard time because the parking is pretty tough, and that need to be changed so we can have them, we can work with them with alternate day, this and that. And then some area they have no problem, no issue at all. So what the analysis based on today, we want to make a decision. We have to base on that analysis, what it come out, and the cost. If we go entirely changing everything, back to alternate this and that, how much will cost? And to do the nationwide, how much is that? And plus, and we go to cost to changing, put a sticker, and it will be more permanent, on the sign. So how much the cost of that? But so we can, based on our budget, and how can we accommodate? But again, case by case, and with analysis, with the staff report to us, and a lot of area we need to adjust. That absolutely we need to, but some area no point to adjust. So what is the different charged, on the budget? Do you have that number?
Yeah. So if we were to go to alternating sides of the street, the one-time cost for equipment.
I'm not talking about equipment. I'm talking about nationwide street sweeping. If they do an alternate with a different street and entire city, do you have a cost for that? Yes, because that is how they charge us. If currently they give us 1.3, it's the same time easy for them to move their truck. But if they change into alternate with different time, what is the increase on the budget?
The increase to the budget would be $935,000.
On the 1.3?
Just on the contract, that's correct.
So basically, currently our contract 1.3, so plus 900 would be $2.1 million?
That's correct, Mr. Mayor.
Mr. Mayor?
Yes, go ahead.
Just as a solution, I'd recommend that we opt please hear me out first, but with that we opt for recommendation number 1, so we can remedy the situation that's faced by people across the city, but with a caveat of giving the acting city manager and staff some authority to make some changes by modifying areas that require less maintenance, so as to offset the cost. So it isn't $935,000, because what that is, it's not factoring in this cost savings that would result in lowering the number of times per month that certain streets would be swept because there isn't a need there. Because there's some not everywhere. There are places that are high density that have more need, but there are places that lower density that can be fine with every 2 weeks still. So just as a practical matter, if we were to go with recommendation number 1, it would immediately provide relief to everyone, and at the same time we would be able to proceed forward with rerouting and fixing all of this. And concurrent with that, if we were to give them the authority to just make changes by limiting street sweeping in certain areas where there isn't a lot of trash or anything, then that way it would minimize the impact of going the route of going street sweeping and being on no parking on both sides.
Got it. Okay, so you're talking about case by case?
No,
it's number 1 on options.
Yeah, one with options to not case by case, but do an entire, to really focus on making sure that we push for no eliminating the situation of where people don't have anywhere to park, but at the same time giving staff the latitude to change certain scopes in certain areas where street sweeping maintenance is not as necessary. That would allow us to fix the problem. Isn't that case by case exactly? But
I think, okay, I'll go back to you. I think it's okay. When we go to weekly street sweeping, we need to be fair. All the street need to be weekly. Okay. And it's not fair for everybody pay taxes. Some street go, 1 week, some to 2 weeks. I think if we go, it should be easier, weekly, everybody after trash day. Okay. So in that way, we don't have any dispute, but then we work on the time. I think the problem issue they have is alternate. Okay. So how can we make them to more convenient for them? Okay, I didn't hear anybody beside one lady they're talking about, and 2 weeks is fine, but most of the people, they're willing to work with city. They just want the alternate, so they have a easy, can park cross street and this and that. They're only asking for that, and it's loud and clear. They're not against weekly street sweeping. They just say, hey, give us parking cross street much closer, not walking 6 blocks. I agree 100%. Okay, so how can we accommodate their need and with what they want? Okay, and that we should accommodate. So they're willing to work with us. We're willing to accommodate with you. We're happy family, and we get the job done. Am I right?
Mr. Mayor?
So anyway, Brian, please, and Brian, go ahead.
So the good news is I wasn't here when this happened, but what I can say is when it comes to cleaning our streets, I think they all need to be clean. But when it comes to listening to the voters and the residents, what they want, I think they want alternate scheduling to allow for adequate parking. I do believe that all streets need to be clean, but ordering stickers, revise install signage, and prepare resolution, so these numbers will inflate like the original contract did. I think it was how much was the original contract? $700,000 for signs. So I think why couldn't Public Works buy a sticker machine? Isn't that possible for Public Works to buy the adequate machine to actually print them themselves?
No, these are specialized stickers. And when I say stickers, these are more similar to your DMV tags. They're a metallic sticker.
Yeah,
and they're customized, so you can't peel them off. A normal sticker can be peeled off. These are a specific magnetic type.
So there's actually great. So there's actually a printer that actually does that. So maybe you could look into.
Correct.
Well, there's a company, but I want to know if it's cheaper if we do it in-house if we buy that machine.
I can explore that option for you.
Okay, great.
Okay,
Mr. Mayor.
Yeah, go ahead.
Just to be clear, it's not a matter of an absence of fairness. There are a lot of people who didn't feel that the street sweeping should be moved to once a week. So it's also a matter of it not being fair when people are right now needing to not be inconvenienced by having to walk several blocks. So that's why the first solution, if we were to do the first recommendation, but then give staff the latitude to make modifications where if the area is clean, I don't think that anybody would necessarily say, hey, gosh, you're not here every week. If it's clean, it's clean. But it would at least save costs, which would then help with our budget while addressing the need not to have no parking on both sides on the same day.
Thank you. Okay, and Councilwoman Diaz.
Thank you, Mayor. It seems to me that we do have this problem citywide, and I think it's going to be very difficult to try to figure out which streets we want to sweep, which streets we don't. And I would say for consistency purposes that we should change to make it alternate days. And I think that would make everyone happy. And we do have a lot of people that probably have not complained yet. And I think that once you start issuing those citations, believe you me, they're going to be here and they're going to be screaming at us. And
are you going to move the motion?
Okay.
Want to do it or?
Yeah, go ahead.
I'll make a motion to approve option number 1, which is revise the street sweeping program to be alternate site, alternate day, by directing the acting city manager to negotiate with Nationwide and present an amendment to the agreement between the city and Nationwide to the city council for its approval at a future council meeting. I guess it goes on and says, order stickers, revise the install signage, prepare a resolution to update the street sweeping parking, whatever option 1 is. Yeah.
Okay, and, Mr. Mayor.
Councilwoman Diaz, is that what you want? Councilwoman Diaz, is what he say you want? You okay with that?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. You want a second? You second.
Mr. Mayor, just
Okay, no, not yet. Don't worry. You can speak. I just finished the first and second. Then go ahead. Okay, so we have first, we have second. Go ahead, Councilman Kento. Go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Would there be just a small amendment? Would the maker of the motion be willing just to give a little latitude with regard to give staff latitude in case there are areas that don't require street sweeping on both sides, so that way at least we can offset the cost? That's a small amendment.
No.
All right. Well then, okay.
Okay. So yeah, we just focus on what alternate day and then make sure our streets clean and negotiate with a good price. $900,000 is too expensive. Okay. Now we're not going to sign contract. Now they continue to stick with what they have. Okay. We have first and second and a roll call, please.
Roll call vote. So first of all, we have a first by Councilmember Gutierrez, second by Councilwoman Diaz. Roll call, Councilman Contos.
Aye.
Councilwoman Diaz.
Aye.
Councilmember Gutierrez.
Aye.
Mayor Pro Tem Letty Lopez Viado, let the record reflect that she is absent, and Mayor Wu.
Aye, and approve 4-0, and then it's make it alternate for people to be convenient park their car. Thank you so much. Okay. And city manager, better to negotiate good price. Okay, I'll deduct your salary. Okay, so.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Okay, so anyway, thank you for coming. Appreciate it. Okay, have a good night. Okay, so anyway, and let's go to the agenda number 17 about our event costs and disclosure. Go ahead.
Thank you, Mayor. So tonight we are coming back to you regarding a Mother May I request. This is a presentation and update on a City Council requested audit of city partnered specials events with nonprofit organizations. City partnered and supported events are one of the hallmarks of this community. The city of West Covina continues to strengthen community engagement by partnering with local nonprofit organizations to host special events and activities that range in size and scope. Many of these activities have been hosted for a number of years, and again, just helps to strengthen the bonds that we have between our nonprofit organizations and our city, and allows our city to extend its reach. Some of these include the Easter Extravaganza in partnership with the Kiwanis Club of West Covina, the Moon Festivals in partnership with the Chinese American Association of West Covina, the Kiwanis Cartoberfest held in conjunction with the city's Festival of Frights, the Kiwanis Children's Christmas Parade in Santa's Village, and we also have an array of nonprofit facility uses that don't necessarily have an MOU. So the request for presentation and audit stemmed from a June 17th, 2025 City Council meeting where the City Council formally requested a presentation and audit of expenditures related to community events conducted in partnership with nonprofit organizations. These city partnered events, the city partner events identified for the review and audit are those for which the city entered into a memorandum of understanding or had a facility use that involves some city coordination. And so what we needed to do was really create a distinction of where we were going to begin this audit, because through this audit process, we did discover that there were a number of valued partnerships that the city has that don't necessarily fall into one of these categories. And we can discuss that a little bit later in this presentation. Those nonprofits were contacted to voluntarily provide financial and programming information for the purpose of this report. In response, this presentation provides a preliminary overview of event-related activities for the years of 2022 through 2024. Before I move any further, I want to preface this presentation by saying that not all of the events necessarily were held in 2022. Some of them may have started 2023 or later. But again, this presentation will cover those years and those events that fall within this time period and that met the other criteria, the MOU or had a facility used with city coordination, are part of this presentation. So we're going to start off with the Easter Extravaganza. This is held at both Cortez Park and Del Norte Park. So this is an annual event offering family-focused activities with egg hunts, food trucks, crafts activities, and entertainments, co-hosted with the Kiwanis and supported by city staff. The event is held in 2 locations, Cortez Park and Del Norte Park. An MOU is entered into with the city providing the facilities, staff, activities, supplies, and entertainment. The Kiwanis provides volunteers, activities, and supplies at the organization's expense. So when we enter into an MOU, the MOU makes a distinction between what is going to be the city's responsibilities versus what is going to be the organization or the entity's responsibilities. It's a way of not only memorializing what that relationship looks like, but it also allows us, the city, as well as the organization, to be able to responsibly track the roles of each entity. So we're going to take a look at the overview of the extravaganza financials. One of the things that I would like to point out that, again, these are preliminary numbers. And with that being said, these are self-reported. This is voluntary. These are not numbers that have been officially audited by a third party because we are giving the council an update tonight. I'll give you a moment to take a look. In addition to the types of income that each receives, so for example, the Kiwanis Club does receive receive sponsorships to help offset their expenses. The other important aspect of this relationship is that the Kiwanis also provides volunteers. 10 to 15 volunteers for each of their event seems to be what has been the routine for the last 3 years. The city does collect some income, some fees. We collect vendor fees when we have vendors at those locations. Unfortunately, the payroll calculations are not available for this event, but what we do have available for this event are the non-payroll expenses that are related to the city. Again, I'll give you a moment to digest. We can ask questions later on in the presentation, or you can ask questions now. Okay, we'll continue. No questions? Okay. Cartoberfest. So this is an emerging fall event featuring car displays held in conjunction with the city's Festival of Frights. Cartoberfest was originally a standalone event in 2022 and 2023, with city expenses really just relating to staff. In 2024, the event was held in conjunction with the city's already budgeted and established Festival of Frights. An MOU is entered into with city providing street closures. The Kiwanis organize the car shows, participants along with providing volunteers, activities, pre-plannings, and supplies at the organization's expense. So again, a very similar spreadsheet that we had before. We talk about the types of income that the Kiwanis receives. We talk about the types of fees that they charge in order to add into that income. And then again, the Kiwanis Club's expenses that are related to this particular event. We also highlight their volunteers. Again, they're pretty consistent with their numbers and volunteers based on what they've reported. I want to point out that in 2022, the city did receive a donation from the Kiwanis for the senior center in the amount of $775. Again, those calculations are unavailable for payroll expenses. In 2023, there were no non-payroll expenses. And then in 2024, what we want to point out is because the event was held in conjunction with the Festival of Frights, with the Kiwanis Club really just utilizing their volunteers for their areas and staff already being scheduled for the Festival of Frights, there was not an impact to payroll, or there wasn't payroll expenses because of that reason.
So basically, the band, the stage, also there's a
the city
basically pay for all the stage,
correct,
okay, and all the manpowers, okay, and the Kiwani, okay, and to doing this. Just want to clarify.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. And again, because the Festival of Frights was already an event that was happening, it was to it really was a mutual benefit. We didn't have a separate standalone event, and it allowed just the ability to drop in the car show into that event.
I want to say this: Kiwani Club is one of the most active members to help the city to put the event together. With our youth council to over here, to be a mayors, to be, and I want to thank Brett. You've been very dedicated to put all this event together. So that's why city have all this event. So again, this is a beautiful event, and thank you so much for your help in the city. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, we're going to move on to the Children's Christmas Parade and Santa's Village. So this is another event that is hosted annually in partnership with the Kiwanis Club. Activities include the parade and the floats, the makeshift floats, Santa's Village, vendor booths, petting zoo, and holiday music. One of the unique aspects of this parade is that the Kiwanis Club really emphasize having the children to be the star of the shows, and that it is a walking parade. An MOU is entered into with the city, providing the facility staff, activities, street closures, and supplies, and the Kiwanis organize the parade, Santa's Village vendors, along with providing volunteers, pre-planning, and supplies at the organization's expense.
And I want to clarify one thing. The reason you're so detailed and know everything because you are the member of Kiwani Club.
I am.
So, and we need to put a disclaimer over there.
You are
conflict of interest.
You are allowed to put a disclaimer. I don't believe it's a conflict.
But no, nothing wrong to join the Kiwani Club. I want to join Kiwani Club, but he said I'm not qualified. I
don't know, Brad. Is he qualified?
Continue, please.
Okay, so we're going to go ahead and present the numbers, the income in terms of sponsorship that the Kiwanis Clubs the fees, the income in terms of vendor fees. We talked about the Santa's Village, the expenses. The volunteers, again, consistent with the 15 adults and 40 student volunteers. In 2023, would like to point out that the city that the city income, we did receive a donation of $2,000 from the Kiwanis. And then the non-city payroll expenses of $9,300 in 2023 and $9,700 in 2024. So that this spreadsheet represents that particular event. If there's any questions or comments, again, you can make them now or make them later. It is entirely up to you.
Continue.
Okay. We're going to hop into the moon festivals. So since 2023, the city has been partnering with the Chinese American Association of West Covina to host moon festivals. In the first year, in 2023, this was a one-day event. Due to the success of the event, the amount of foot traffic that we received in the downtown area, and just the overall positive reception from the community, it was expanded to a two-day event in 2024, featuring 200 plus vendors, entertainment, and partners. When we talk about partners for the event, we're talking about the ability for the local organizations, businesses, nonprofits to really showcase what they have to our community here in West Covina. This Chinese American Association of West Covina donated $5,000 to the West Covina Community Services Foundation, and $5,000 came from the Tsingtao General Chamber of Commerce, also donated to the Community Services Foundation in 2024. An MOU is entered into for the moon festivals, with the city providing staff, street closures assisted with coordination, supplies, activities, and some of the entertainment. CAAWC provides volunteers, coordinates vendors, permit applications, entertainment, supplies, equipment, event organization, pre-planning, etc. It's kind of a mouthful. There's a lot that goes on, a lot of pre-planning that goes on from the Chinese American Association, their committee, if you will, that do put on this event. We're going to go ahead and go to the next slide. One of the things that I would like to point out is that when the request goes for expenditures, it is a voluntary request. We're working with volunteer organizations who are putting the numbers, who put the information together. So we don't have a place to really, other than to request and to ask. And because they are a valued partner, they are aware that we are presenting this tonight. So payroll expenses are available, as well as non-city payroll expenses. One of the things that I want to be upfront about, because I believe this would be a natural question, is why would we have the payroll expenses calculated for 2023 and 2024 for this particular event and not necessarily for the other ones? Well, this is the reason why, because in the past we have received public records requests regarding certain events. And when those public records requests go out, a lot of these numbers have already been established. So that is why we have the dollar amounts attributed. Particularly for this event, we don't necessarily have received a public records request, say, for the Easter egg hunt. So that's one of the distinctions, or one of the things that I'd like to just be upfront with the body about.
I have a question.
Yes, sir.
You go back to previous one. So over here, you don't have the number. I know they pay for all the rental stage. That's about $50,000-$60,000, right? For example, all the sound effect and the bathroom, and all those paid by the CAWC. So payroll, how can payroll for $64,000? Where is payroll coming from? Is this payroll for the city payroll? 2023 it's $13,000. Why 2024 it jumping to $64,900? It sounds like very expensive for city payroll.
And that's a great question. The distinct is pointing out the difference in cost. One of the things that I would point to is that you moved from a one-day event. The city moved from a one-day event to hosting a two-day event. You host a two-day event. The costs are going to go up.
2 day time 2 is 30,000. It shouldn't go to 64,000. So, do you have a detail? I want to see the detail.
We can most certainly provide the detail.
I want to see why one day is $13,000 for the staff. Why the second time 2 day become 64,000? I'm pretty surprised. That's pretty pricey. Then in that way, the city we need to find a funding for that staff, or we should cut down, or maybe change venue, and regarding why it costs so much just for staffing. Because I might remember they have about 30 volunteers for that 2 day, and the CWC was a lot of children over there. I remember, they hang out the check, to all those kids, for volunteer. And volunteer, they put the decoration, they start I was there, I saw them how they helped to take off the stage, make sure everything, they stay till very late. It's about, I think you're there too, 30 volunteer kids.
In 2023, I was there. In 2023, I was there. I was there late, and I can, absolutely attest for that. I was, I
think 2024, you're there too.
2023, I was there late, the Friday night before, and then 2024, I was there into the evening. That's correct.
And plus, you guys introduce a lot of vendors, meaning all the costs for the stage and the sound system, and that is all paid by, my understanding, by CAWC.
According to
maybe we should ask them to provide, so you can see how much they pay. I think my understanding told me they pay out about $50,000 just for all those expenditure. But if the city pays $64,000, then city in the loss. Then we got an issue to discuss how we reduce, or should we change in, even with very successful, but how can they cost $64,000 just for personnel? Why?
One of the, first and foremost, for 2024, one of the things that I would look at is I would say that you're going to have overtime costs too. I would also say that in 2024,
I only request to have a detail about why 2023 one day is $13,000. I still think it's high, $13,000 for one day. But how can the 2024 become $64,000.
We'd be happy to share those that information
Would you please
in the
look
detail.
into maybe our new our the finance director can get the detail, at the same time, so we can see totally cost and the totally contribution, so we can see the apple to apple and this.
We would be happy. Yeah, we would be happy to
Would you
share
please?
that.
Because there's some very pricey for the staff cost. Okay. Next
question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, great. And just for clarification, which nonprofits?
Please, quiet.
So just for clarification, which nonprofits participated in this voluntary audit?
What do you mean by participated? If you can be a little
how did
clearer.
you? Well, okay, I'll go down a list right now, but just to start it off, but who sent you their numbers?
The Kiwanis Club of West Covina.
Okay, and my understanding is that Film at West Covina agreed to send you numbers in the coming weeks. Mylin?
That is correct.
Okay, so the only one who has not communicated with you was CAAWC?
Have you sent a CWC request yet?
We did send a request back in June to the CAWC president, the president that we had on file. So it would have been Sophia Wen.
Can you send again, and or I will ask them to provide the
Absolutely.
the number. It's fine.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Okay. So I have a couple of questions for this topic. So I'm going to start off by saying it's a question for the city attorney. Mr. City Attorney, does Mayor Tony Wu have a conflict of interest in participating in this audit discussion relating to a nonprofit that his wife is the treasurer and founder of in the MOU contract?
I don't have a formal opinion on that. I can look into that.
Okay, thank you. Next question. How was, and this could be for city staff, how was this money allocated and how was the MOU signed? Actually, before we go to there, in 2022, my understanding is that you're still working on those numbers because you said
we didn't have a moon festival in 2022.
Okay, but
so
you
2023 was the first moon festival.
But my understanding that there was a CAAWC event and that there was a permit waived is my understanding for a banquet that happened at the Sportsplex, right?
Yes. I think they have they rent a place for the installation CAWC. I think it's
There's a facility use.
2022. Okay.
Yeah, there's a facility use. And so in 2022, there was a facility use.
Only, I think 2022, starting 2022.
Yeah,
Right.
only 2022.
Then my understanding that in 2022, there was a different time clock or timekeeping system compared to 2023 and 2024. And so it's a little more complicated to calculate the staff time for 2022. Is that correct?
In 2020, what I think you're referring to, in 2023, we had a different 2022, we had a different financial software. In 2023, that new financial software was introduced. So if you're asking for 2022 numbers, those aren't as readily available as, say, 2023, 2024, and beyond.
I just want to make sure the public has an understanding that it's not just blacked out and there's no
Well, there was no Moon Festival in 2022.
But there
so
was.
this
there was
particular slide discusses the Moon Festivals.
Yeah.
And
Yes, sir.
I think I understand why in 2021 it's not a Moon Festival. We have a 7 nonprofit.
The Spring Festival.
When you started, and then we have about 10,000-20,000 to Sportplex, and then with Carnival, and we just out of pandemic, and we have about 10,000 people, almost like a July 4th. Possible he mentioned about that one. That one is not CAWC. That one is from Filipino Association and the Japanese Community Centers and and NWACP, 7 nonprofit. Korean, a church. Remember, you're the person who hosts the meeting.
And why that particular event would not have been captured in this is because that existed before MOUs. We weren't in the city prior to I got here, didn't enter into MOUs for special events. So that is why that particular one would not have been captured. And we could.
This is a big event, very successful, and we have seven nonprofit.
It was 7 nonprofits. You're correct.
And you did a Zoom meeting, okay?
Yes.
As I still remember.
Yeah.
And everybody participate, and you just start with as a assistant city manager.
That's correct.
2021. So I still remember. And 2022, okay, if Brian Gutierrez is talking about, and I think they have. I wasn't there because I got a COVID. Okay, remember you got all there. So that's installation there. I think they list the place. Okay, I think that is but it's not event. It's more like their installation. They rent a place, just like Brian leased a place for his nephew, and a couple of times with a big event over there. But
I paid for it. You didn't.
No, I think that's why it's paid. That's why it's paid by CAWC paid for it. Okay, and you just.
Can I finish my questions? You're taking my time.
No. I just want to answer about your questions to clarify.
I want the city to answer it though.
Okay, go ahead. You continue.
Great. So, city, my understanding is that this dinner also had staff, but you need to. It's going to take you more time to get us these numbers, correct?
If yes, any payroll type expenses, payroll expenses are a little bit more challenging to calculate.
It's okay. I just want to know. I just want to clarify what
yes, it would take us some time to pull those numbers. That is true.
Great. And then so back to the other question. How was this money allocated, and how was this MOU signed for, let's just say, those 2 MOUs you have listed here in 2023 and 2024? Who executed those agreements?
Signing authority goes to the city manager. So in 2023, the signing authority would be the city manager at the time, Paulina Morales. 2024, signing authority again would be to the city manager, Paulina Morales.
Great, thank you. Will the council vote on this MOU this year, and if so, when?
The MOU is being drafted. It is in its final stages. We have not brought MOUs to the city council in the past because it has been under the city manager's authority to sign it. We can bring the MOU.
That's not my understanding. City manager, can you clarify that? My understanding that you were going to bring it to the first meeting of September. Is that correct?
That was one of the options.
Okay, so now it's
my signature authority is
okay. So it's not okay. So next one. Who turned in their number? Okay, we already answered that. So was CAAWC given adequate notice of this request, and so how? What form?
It was a letter that was mailed shortly after the city council meeting. I want to say it would have been the end of June, and it would have gone to their president.
Great. And did you do a follow-up email?
It was a letter. We did not do a follow-up email. Again, it was voluntary compliance.
Okay. So the most recent.
Sounds like, from what the mayor said, just check in with them again is what it sounds like.
Yeah. Okay. My understanding is that you also sent the email. So you did not. You only sent that to Letty Lopez Viado, not.
We did not send an email to Letty Lopez.
I have the email. I have the email in front of me.
It was not sent to Letty Lopez.
It was sent by Susie Perez.
It was sent by Susie Perez to Emily, who is the young lady that is responsible for filming.
So
it was not sent.
Okay, great.
It was not sent to Letty.
Okay, and yeah, well, Emily, but the nonprofit is founded by Letty. But when it came to CAWC, did they get that email too?
They received a letter. They did not get an email. They received a letter.
Okay, but that specific email sent by Susie Perez, which nonprofit got that email?
Film at West Covina. Film at West Covina is an MOU. Is not an MOU. Is a facility use, and is not necessarily a one that was part of the intent to be captured in this way. We were really trying to focus on some of these larger events, MOU events that had the MOUs. I received direction to include film at West Covina, and because of that, an email was sent.
Great. Okay, Tom, if the council, this is a question for Tom, if the council decides, can a mandatory audit requirement be added to the MOU?
Sure, at council's direction. If you want to add that, you can put it in.
Great. And to Roxanne, are you aware of any other cities that do this? Can you please elaborate?
That have an audit requirement in an MOU? I am. So when I worked for the city of La Puente, we did do an MOU with the Kiwanis Club that was in La Puente at the time. And one of the exchanges, if you will, for city support is that it gave the city the ability to audit the books. However, when I was in La Puente, we did not do a third-party audit. It was the city had the ability. The city did go down and did meet with the president at the time and did review their books.
Great. And then, Tom, if the council decides, can the council decide not to re-enter into an MOU with the Mega Moon Festival or CAWC?
Certainly, it's council's direction, majority vote.
Great. Thank you. Okay, next question. This is for Mylan. In the past or currently, in the planning of the Mega Moon Festival with city staff, has a member of this council given direction or suggestion to city staff on design, music requested, or anything relating to the Mega Moon Festival, including requesting police and fire presence at these events?
Suggesting or directing?
Direction, suggestions.
Suggestions, yes.
Great, thank you. Let's see, let's not break it down here, but what I was shown, is it my understanding that for these events in 2023, the city got no income? Say city income donation blank. Is that correct?
The city did not receive a donation to the Community Services it's the Community Services Foundation that receives it. Did not receive the donation, no. But they did. We did receive the $10,000, so $5,000 from.
Yeah, that's 2024.
For 2024.
Yeah, great. Okay, great. And then just to clarify, were all vendors that required a fire permit, were their fees waived for this event?
They were waived for this event, just like they're waived for other events that we host with nonprofits.
Yeah,
and that's part of their MOUs as well.
Great.
Say the question again. What's your question? About waive?
Huh?
Well, could you repeat your question?
Yeah. So I was asking for these events, for the Mega Moon Festival. You know, there's tons of vendors that need a fire permit fee. Were all these vendors' fees waived?
For the fire or the city fees, fire fees, they would have been waived. Okay. That's part of the MOU.
Yeah, yes. Okay, thank you. And then, so in 2023, the city had payroll expenses of $13,124.47. And then in 2023, city non-payroll expenses was $18,737.75. But then the city had no income in back. And then it was also my understanding that all vendor fees, all sponsorship fees go directly to CAWC, the Chinese American Association of West Covina, and the taxpayers of West Covina, City Hall, City of West Covina do not get any of that money. Is that correct?
Vendor fees for the Moon Festival are not collected by the city of West Covina.
Okay, so that's correct. Okay, great. And sponsorship fees too, correct? All money goes to that. They collect all the money?
The city city staff does not solicit sponsorships for the Moon Festival.
Okay, so that's a yes. Okay, great. Okay, next question. The next question I have is, so this is the only charity that did not cooperate in the audit, but when I'm looking at their 990 EZ public forms online that are filed by the IRS, it shows the CFO is obviously Mayor Wu's wife, but we go to 2020 and In 2020, they reported an income of $16,100. In 2021, they reported an income of $500. But in 2022, which would have been the first year they did a partnership with the city of West Covina, somehow their income jumped $79,800. And in 2023, their income jumped $65,938. While West Covina taxpayers got nothing in return, besides in 2024, which I do not have their numbers because it's not publicly accessible at this time online. But in all these other years, the taxpayers didn't get no money in return. And so you would think that a charity will be volunteer their numbers to the taxpayers of West Covina to show transparency in what profit margins were they making. That I think the taxpayers of West Covina have the right to know from a nonprofit how much money are you making on behalf of the taxpayers of West Covina. And so I'll conclude my questions on this matter, and I will just say transparency is key to the taxpayers of West Covina. Thank you.
You got it. Okay, and I understand. Okay, some of the things. Okay, like my wife donate $2,000, and the chairperson donate $3,000 every other years or every year. So depend on, and then all the member donate $500. So it's all the record. I have a check, everything. So most of the money is donation from the member. So the chairperson, the vice chair, I think there is a 2,000 or 3,000. So all the members donate the money. So when you see the income possible is the year they donate, the money. And all the, I think, and everything regarding that has a check, has been to prove. And regarding, expenditures on the Moon Festival and all the rental, my understanding, including the, and the bathrooms, this and that, that is all paid, the stage, everything is paid by them. I think it's about $50,000 to pay out for that, but I think they should have a number for you guys to review it. And regarding donation have a banner showing who is over there, and they announced by the DJ over there all the time, say thank you for the sponsor. And plus, regarding, I think they have about, my understanding, like last year, they have about 30 food vendor, the 30 food vendor, they pay, I think something, might be $500 for 2 days. And then the non-food, I think is $100 or $200, but most of them are non-profit. The non-profit will be free. So if they have about 30 or 40 pay, possible the school, the hospital, and they all get it for free. And the idea is, based on CAWC, the idea is how can we make West Covina on the map with basically with all this, like a showcase, the school over there, district, and the hospital over there, portal over there, and the 85C over there. Everybody's showing about the good face of our city, and then we can have 10 or 20,000 people over there to showing, the how good the city face is, and all this cannot make money. All this basically is try to do donation, and then you can see the CWC consistently in the city council donate money into all the after school program, children, scholarship, this and that. It's charity. Charity meaning all the income have to donate out. Everything showing over there. But I know all these members, the Chinese American, are very passionate to try to help out our after school program. I want to give the children have a dancing scene, performing art. You can see, and the Puerto Rico, the Mexican, the folk dancer, and they need to go to New York. They donate in consistently $1,000 and to sponsor them. And last time we have a cheerleader, they donate $1,000, and they donate $5,000 for the Performing Art Academy. So again, last time they donate $7,500 for the police explorer. It's all donation. $7,500. Last time, and where this money coming from? The money coming from the donation from the member. And I donate $7,500 my stipend, and to get $15,000 on the couple meetings ago, and to give the $15,000 to have our police explorer. I think it's important to showing that our community willing to participate. Not only that, to put a program, also donate. charity for our children, for our explorer, okay, any needed, okay, and this funding will be there. And we want to encourage all the different groups to participate. We want to different of non-profit to coming in. This is their home, okay, this is, okay, and their community. They should participate and they should help out. And I think this is what it's about. They can stay home. Would you please, okay, I let him finish. I'm doing, okay, we don't do this. If you're really angry about this, okay, if the city decide not going to cooperate, this and that, it's quite all right. Okay, but we want to say is this, okay, and what we want to do is, okay, to have more event. We want to encourage more of a nonprofit to come in, okay, to participate, not always have the city to pay. For example, Spring Festival is 100% city. City pay for everything. Okay, no sponsorship, no donation. Okay, so we have a summer concert, basically all city. Okay. The reason we want to set up the Chamber of Commerce is let Chamber of Commerce to help out the donation for our city event. So I think city event is a unity of our city together. And then, okay, and each of a membership or each of a nonprofit or any organization, they should come in to participate in the city future. We are here, the neighbor. No matter what, agree, disagree, we should work together, improve ourselves. When we're talking about we all different color, different creed, this and that, that's what we're here for. Showing the action to work together rather than try to tear everybody down with a conspiracy theory. Okay, but more important is our children's future. How we can help them, how we can unite them, how we can spread love rather than hate. But the most important thing is this. Let's have more event. Let's have more participation, charity to help our children. I think this is why we're sitting over here. Otherwise, why we're sitting over here? Why is those members willing to participate, work on this, volunteer, and this and that? Recently, we received a Girl Scout, okay, and they want to help us, okay, to clean up, okay, the Gloucester Park and to take camping over there. And that is a wonderful suggestion and project. We want them to have ownership of the Gloucester Park. Okay, and I think this is something we can work together as partnership. And partnership is the most important thing is sense of community. Not everything is government. Government is coming from the people anyway. And what we hear is to unite the people and for different race. Chinese American is American. Okay, Hispanic American is American. We all American in this community. We help each other. So anyway, and I think it's okay, and to showing, okay, the numbers should be had any problem for CWC to provide how much they pay out. Okay, I think they're willing to do it. I never heard about they receive a letter possible, the mailing, okay, this and that. But they have no problem to open their book to showing, okay, the cost, this and that. Okay, and they how much they pay every year for their membership, and they're willing to help out to our community. So anyway, and this is anything you want to continue?
Yeah, I'll just say, the difference between the Spring Festival and the Mega Moon Festival is that the Spring Festival, the city gets to collect the fees. For the Mega Moon Festival, all the money goes into a charity that's founded by, unfortunately, your wife. And so when you come to 2024, $100,000 of taxpayer money went to this for resources for this event. When you mention all these charities in our community, imagine what we'll be able to do if we use that $100,000 and give back scholarships and sponsorships to our local schools in our community and local clubs in our community, like the Girl Scouts and Boy Scouts. So that's my concern.
Okay, very good comment. Okay, so okay, we can bring the MOU and the city decide. Okay, they want to continue. But again, I think we really want to see why city costs so much money on the personnel. It's pretty surprising. Okay, because I was thinking about city just and block the street. Then again, to go to on the Glendora Avenue is a suggestion by the city because city want to revitalize that street. Okay, and that street need help. And if you have more event, if we can put over here, then we basically much cheaper. okay, because we don't need to block the street. Okay, we can just using over here the parking lot. Okay, but it's not the city one. City want the event at the Glendora, like the Friday night. Okay, like the the Spring Festival or Moon Festival. The reason is over there that you can have all the business people to kind of know West Covina has a downtown. Okay, and now you can see gradually more people go over there. So the investment is not just a dollar amount. The investment is about the future, about how you revitalize the area. How you revitalize the area, you put program, you put attraction. You have people to go over there, tens of thousands over there. They can see, oh, we have Cafe 86. Oh, we have a Bond Street. Okay, we have a Cove. Okay, we have a lot of, we have those Mexican restaurant, very, very tasty. And then we can vibrate the area by bringing the event. Otherwise, why we do event over there? Why they have to spend all the time, okay, and to try to put this together, okay, to making like $10,000, $20,000 is chunk change for all those member, but they want to participate in this and that. But regarding how we cost $121,000, that's pretty amazing and shocking. Why we cost that much money? Because possible to maybe block the street and this and that. But it's a what? You want to answer that? Yeah, go ahead.
We can definitely take a look at the staffing resources. What finance did pull these numbers together based on hours worked, based on timesheets, and verified those with the departments. But exactly. And I absolutely hear what you're saying. It is a large number, and having these conversations allows staff to bring these forward to the council so that the council can make educated decisions. So you have the tools that you need to lead the community forward. And in this case would be events as a whole. And
another thing regarding we blocked the street for Friday night. We blocked the street, and for the Christmas. It's all great event. Okay, it's that the same staff charge or a different charge? Why Moon Festival have a more charge than other? Spring Festival. How much is staff time? Because Spring Festival pay anything 100% staff. Okay, and city has no donation from the CAWC, and then how much for the staff over there? So we can compare apple to apple. It's the same event. Okay, and it's 2 day. So how much cost for the staff time for Spring Festival? Maybe city should just take over the Moon Festival. You do it yourself. So if they have also suspicion, conspiracy event. So, but we need an event over there. If city want to do it themselves, I will encourage the city to take over. Okay, and have a Moon Festival 100% city owned, including city recruit everything. Do everything, and the city do everything.
That would be great.
Yeah, I think we should do it. Okay, maybe. Okay, and in the future, 2020 next year. Okay, and because this year they're already almost there. Okay, so maybe next year. Okay, we can put MOUC. Maybe let this one let the city, all the foundation already there. Okay, all the participants already there. So, and then all the vendor, we can, CAWC can give to you, so you can have them to come in, just take over. So in that way, city have to pay all the time and, this and that. And, so anyway, this is another suggestion. Okay, we can make this thing happen easily. Okay, so in that way, no more controversial thing going on. Okay. The city want to take over 100%, but original idea is more participant for nonprofit, to help out rather than city always in charge of 100% for everything. But anyway, that's all good. Anyone, other people want to say anything? Otherwise, can we go to consent calendar? Are you okay? You ready now?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Thank you so much. Is this a receive and file, right?
It is a receive and file.
Okay. Let's go to the consent calendar. So I know you want to pull almost everything. So you starting. Okay. Okay. Which one you're not pulling?
Let's see. They'll be fast. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 12, and 14. I'm pulling.
You pull 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 8, 12, 14?
Yes.
Okay, who want to make a motion to approve beside 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 12, 14?
I move the motion.
Second.
Okay, who's second? Okay, roll call, please.
Okay, roll call vote. Councilman Contos.
Aye.
Councilwoman Diaz.
Aye.
Councilmember Gutierrez.
Aye.
Mayor Pro Tem Lopez Viado. Let the record reflect that Mayor Pro Tem Lopez Viado is absent, and Mayor Wu.
Aye. Okay, approve 4-0. Okay, look, number 4, quickly, please.
Okay, great. So this is the consideration of purchase and sale agreement and joint escrow instructions for a portion of development site in the city of West Covina. Gerardo. Gerardo, can you briefly tell the city council and the public what this great opportunity is for our community?
Good evening, Mayor, council members. This opportunity is for Texas Roadhouse to be located here in West Covina.
It's a great news.
Great. That's great news. That's all I wanted to know.
That's it?
Yep.
Oh,
Thank you.
Just for one sentence?
Yeah, everyone needs to know about
I have a motion to have a motion to
Gerardo.
I'll second.
Finally, you have a quick one.
Real quick for the record, who made the motion?
Who moved the motion?
Oli.
Thank you, Councilman
Okay,
Contos.
and second by Brian. Okay, roll call,
Got it.
please.
Okay, roll call vote. Councilman Contos.
Aye.
Councilwoman Diaz.
Aye.
Councilmember Gutierrez.
Aye.
Mayor Pro Tem Lopez Viado is absent. Mayor Wu.
Aye, and approve 4-0. Number 5, please.
Number 5, consideration of agreement for the executive level recruitment services, which I believe include fire chief and city manager position. Is there a representative? Oh, Carmelita's here. It's a quick question. Carmelita, do you plan on coming back to us with these companies and getting some of our suggestions and guidelines on what the city council is looking for?
I am.
Okay, great. That's all my.
You get a mic close to your mouth.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, great. And now, when would that be after this is approved? Probably like in 2 meetings?
It can be the next meeting.
Oh, okay. Okay, great. I'll make a motion to approve.
Mr. Mayor, Carmelita, this is recommendation to approve Tripepi as the recruiter?
Yes.
Okay. And then Tripepi will work with council?
Correct.
Okay.
Yes.
Do I have a second?
Yeah.
Second.
Move already.
Yeah.
Okay, okay, roll call, please.
Councilman Contos.
Aye.
Councilwoman Diaz.
Aye.
Councilmember Gutierrez.
Aye.
Mayor Pro Tem Lopez Viado is absent. Mayor Wu.
Aye, and approve 4-0. Okay, and number 6.
Number 6, consideration and rejection of RFP for the State of the City catering proposals and authorization for the acting city manager to procure such services. Susie, yes. Susie, how will you ensure that how would the process work to award the $30,000 to it's not to exceed 30,000 for an anticipated attendance of 550 guests? How would that procurement work?
So similar to how we do with all of our different quotes, we would go out and seek different proposals and go with the option that is going to be best suitable for the event.
Okay, great. And let's just say we had like 450 people show up, then obviously we're not going to be paying the extra costs associated with those extra plates, or?
That is correct. We are monitoring the numbers closely, and then we'll start cutting back as the event approaches and cut checks accordingly.
Okay, great. Okay, thank you. I'll make a motion to approve.
Thank you.
Oh, no, well, I make a motion in consideration of rejection of RFP number 2026-05, State of the City catering proposals, and the authorization for the acting city manager to procure such services.
Who second? Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay, roll call, please.
Hey, Councilman Contos.
Aye.
Councilwoman Diaz. Councilmember Gutierrez.
Aye.
Mayor Pro Tem Lopez Viado is absent. Mayor Wu.
Okay, yes, okay, aye, and approve 4-0. Number 8, please.
Some 7, right? I think.
7? Yeah.
7.
Number 7, consideration of purchasing report and rejection of unawarded bids. So there's number 7. So the only thing, So the only thing I'm going to ask, Mylene, if you could tell Karen, because I know in the past the council discussed this before, which is dates on. I think if she could reference the last report that was given to the council, I think it had dates on there and a little more specifics on this report, because it's kind of hard to read some of them. Let's see. Yeah, so I'll just ask that if the next report could please be similar to the last one that was presented to us, I think by Paulina, which had dates and stuff.
Sure, I'll make sure that's taken care of.
Okay, I'll make a motion to approve number 7, consideration of purchasing report and rejection of awarded bids.
Second. Okay, roll call, please.
Okay, Councilman Contos?
Aye.
Councilwoman Diaz?
Aye.
Councilmember Gutierrez?
Aye.
Mayor Pro Tem Lopez Villado is absent, and Mayor Wu.
Aye, and approve 4-0. Number
4-0.
Great. Number 8, considerations of monthly salary for acting city manager. Shoot, he can't speak about it. Sorry. He ran out. Yeah, that's correct. Carmelita. Briefly, if you could just, obviously, Mylan has worked very hard, and obviously he has gone above and beyond here at City Hall, and I just want the public just to be aware of obviously the work he's done, but also what this means.
The acting city manager is being compensated at $1 above the highest subordinate that he's supervising at this particular time, and this ensures proper internal equity. The city manager, for the acting city manager as a top executive. So therefore, we're asking that his salary be $1 more because of the expanded scope and responsibilities that he is performing at this present time.
And that will bring his monthly salary to
$17,415, $1 more than the subordinate that he's supervising.
Great. That's all the questions I have. So I'll make a motion.
Second.
Second.
Which was
roll call, please.
Yeah, which was the consideration of a monthly salary for acting city manager.
Real quick, I heard 2 seconds. Who seconded it? Okay, thank you.
Okay, number 14.
Councilman Contos.
Aye.
Thank you.
Councilwoman Diaz.
Aye.
Councilmember Gutierrez.
Aye.
Mayor Pro Tem Lopez Villado is absent. Mayor Wu.
Aye, and approve 4-0. Number 14, right?
I think 12, no?
Oh, I skipped 12. Okay.
12.
I cannot wait to get over. Okay, number 12.
Number 12. This one, I think my only question about this one was, is this also using Measure M funds? Oh, I guess Mike's there for that.
Good evening, Mayor, council members. Yes, this is using Measure M funds.
Great. And Measure M funds is also used for like bus stops too, right?
I don't want to misspeak. I believe that is one of the applications. It's Metro, so yes, bus stops, street repairs, things of that nature.
Okay. Yeah. So, I mean, obviously, this is, I believe, hydraulic. Yeah. So, consideration of authorization of purchase of a hydraulic-driven airless pump spray, which I believe will help do a lot of the crosswalks, right? Correct.
Crosswalks, stops and lags, intersections.
Yeah.
It'll really speed the process up. Restriping things.
Yeah,
we won't have to do it by hand. It should increase our production.
Okay. Well, that's great. Okay. That's all my questions. I'll make a motion to approve the consideration of authorization to purchase a TPMT.
Do I have a second?
Hydraulic-driven airless pump spray system for installation on truck chases.
It's going to be Diaz for a second. Okay, Councilman Contos.
Aye.
Councilwoman Diaz. Aye. Councilmember Gutierrez.
Aye.
Mayor Pro Tem Lopez Villado is absent. Mayor Wu.
Aye, 4-0. 14, please.
Number 14. I see there were some wording changes compared to 12 and 14. Let's see. In the event of which was so the difference in 12, I believe, was if the purchase wasn't available after, I guess it wasn't available after all, that I believe on number 12, you'll be able to go to the next bidder in the process.
That is correct. That is what we would like to do.
But number 14, I believe it's written differently, I think, a little bit. It may have been an administrative error.
Well, 12 is just the bed for the sprayer. It does include the chassis. So 12 is just the apparatus that goes on the back, and there's one vendor. On item number 14, the boom truck is an actual truck and boom that is sold in one piece. And depending on availability, what we didn't want to do is not have a piece of equipment. So we would go to the lowest bid, which is outlined in the staff report, not or go to the next bidder. But if nothing's available, we wanted to make sure we could move forward with the truck and give authorization to the city manager to purchase.
Okay, so it says, because it says, in the event the boom truck is no longer available from West Covina Performance Ford at the time of purchase, authorize the acting city manager to purchase a comparable vehicle meeting the city specifications, provided the purchase price should not exceed $200,000. And maybe this is a Tom question. Tom, in this case, would our purchase policy still be in effect? So they'll have to go to the next bidder in line kind of thing?
No, they'd assess it and go to the next responsible bidder, but wouldn't be the next in line. Would it be the next in line?
It would be the next in line, and then our concern was if both vehicles weren't available.
Then they'd go to the, yeah.
Correct.
Okay, I just want clarification that it's not like you get $200,000 and then you buy it from anywhere kind of thing.
No, we would use the bidders, go through the process.
Okay,
the lowest bid, then the second, and then if that wasn't available, then city manager authorization.
Okay, perfect. So I'll make a motion to approve the consideration of authorization to purchase specialized fleet vehicle boom truck.
Councilman Contos.
Aye.
Councilwoman Diaz.
Aye.
Councilmember Gutierrez.
Aye.
Mayor Pro Tem Lopez Villado is absent, and Mayor Wu.
Aye, and approve 4-0. So all the consent calendar is over. Okay, and now we go to the council member requests and comment. Okay, anybody go first?
Mr. Mayor?
Go ahead.
I just have one. I'd like to ask that my one, Mother, may I please be read?
Yes. I wish to move that the City Council immediately instructs staff to refrain from further utilizing its city resources of time, finances, and other assets toward the 2025 Mega Moon Festival until or unless the Council issues a formally approved Memorandum of Understanding with the Chinese American Association of West Covina.
I'll second.
Okay, roll call, please.
Councilman Contos.
Aye.
Councilwoman Diaz.
No.
Councilmember Gutierrez.
Aye.
Mayor Pro Tem Lopez Villado is absent. Mayor Wu.
No. Okay, motion fail. Okay, and any other?
So my understanding is this. So Mylan, you told me that you were going to bring it to the council regardless on the first meeting of September. Is that so? My understanding is Oli is just saying instead of spending taxpayers' money right now, that the MOU should come to the council to review, so we could determine if we're going to add wording in there, such as mandatory audit, the city's right to audit the books.
I believe the city attorney has already said that could be added.
What?
You're talking about adding conditions to the MOU?
Yes, but my understanding is that you are going to bring this MOU to the city council on the first meeting of September.
If that's what the council would like.
Well, I think not only would it go over your $50,000 budget, your mandatory spending limit, but I think it'll probably have to come. So I think all Oli is asking for is that instead of signing contracts at this time, let's follow the city's policy and not spend the taxpayers' money until we execute that MOU. So does the city plan on executing contracts with taxpayers' money for music performances in the coming week, or can it wait till the first week of September when that item is supposed to be brought to the city council?
I'm not aware of any contracts that are coming. We might ask staff if there's any contracts between now and September 2nd. September 2nd would be the MOU, the controlling document. I'm not aware of any other contracts that are going to the city right now.
So just to clarify, the MOU is supposed to come to the city council in the first week of September, correct?
That's my understanding, yes.
Okay, so you are bringing it to the first week of September. Okay, so are you aware, or because, I mean, obviously you're the city manager, the chief executive officer for the city and on behalf of the taxpayers, are you aware of any taxpayer money, any musical performances that the city is responsible for paying for the Mega Moon Festival being executed between now and the first week of September?
No, I am not.
So there'll be no contracts you're executing on behalf of the city. Any city resources, you're not going to be ordering any banners, anything until from now through the first meeting in September.
I have not seen any contracts come to my desk.
And do you and if they do come, are you going to execute them?
My understanding is the motion failed.
Okay, great. So, Tom, under the city's MOU policy, if there's no MOU, according to our policy, the taxpayers' money could still be used with or without an MOU?
Yeah, there is no MOU policy. The MOU is just in a contract and agreement. The city manager has authority up to, I believe, $50,000 to sign contracts. So if one comes up between now and September 2nd, it's up to the city manager whether or not to execute that.
So my understanding is that this MOU has contract terms that explain who's responsible for what. So you're saying that West Covina taxpayers are at risk potentially for liability because we currently technically don't have an MOU executed and we're spending taxpayers' money.
Yeah, the MOU is going to explain everything and who's responsible for what responsibilities that the nonprofit has, what responsibility the city has.
So wouldn't it be, responsible leadership for us to see that before we start spending taxpayers' money?
I think that's a legal question.
Yeah, in other cities, do cities spend taxpayers' monies to third-party nonprofits? I don't know whoever can answer that question. I don't think so. I think, this MOU, this contract, to have no commitment to prevent the misuse of taxpayers' money and to say that taxpayers' money could be used for an event hosted by the mayor's wife, a nonprofit that's collecting all profits and sponsorships. And for us to say, oh, we don't support an MOU, we'll let them continue to spend taxpayers' money right now. What leadership, what responsibility are we setting for the taxpayers who elected us to office?
But I have a suggestion. And I have a suggestion. I have a request CAWC, and hand over everything to the city. So have city to collect everything. And have city to do the Moon Festival itself. Even we promoted, CAWC. So, I think in that way, to clarify, so city, what they collect, all hand over to city. So city can to do everything what you want because they already announced and 10 or 20,000 people will come. And I don't want anything get black or about this event. So I think I will suggest CAWC to hand over everything to the city, to Susie, have a Susie to handle everything 100% run by the city. And will that be settle your suspicions? Will be that okay for you?
Yes, and just to clarify, I don't have suspicion. It's just because
that's fine.
They didn't provide their numbers.
No, that's fine.
Yeah.
I think let's do this. I will suggest CAWC and then to hand over all the currently donation. Any number. For the Super Moon. And for city to run the show. And since they already collect. And everything CAWC already participate, but the city can take over everything, including the donation, including the vendor. But the city, the city have to continue to collect. Some of the vendor, my understanding, hasn't paid. Most of them are non-paid because non-profit. And what we want is a successful event. The money is not important. I think the more important thing, can we get a great event for the city? So I think everything just hand over to the city, including each of the vendor, how much they get paid and this and that. But they have a cosplay. They have to pay them cash. So good luck. And because the city have to come out $20 per person if they wear costume, and $100 per person. So city better to come out, hopefully positive on all those things. And supposedly this all paid by the CAWC. If our member, two member have a suspicious, I think it is better this way. Okay, everything handled the city, but we still want a great event to show the showcase of the city. So, okay, so in that way, I think,
So I'll second that.
okay, so we don't need a second. This is way hangover. Okay, I already said it publicly. So anyway, so I would talk to CAWC and talk to, okay, and to have a Susie to contact, okay, and then let's get a show. Okay, October 4th coming up pretty soon. Let's have a good event, have 20,000 people to unite over there. And the city collect everything, including the vendors, including all the food and this, but you guys have to handle everything from now, and including the volunteer. But I think they're still willing to do volunteer for you. Okay, so anyway, but then the city have to pay for everything yourself, including the rental, the bathroom, this and that. Supposedly this should be paid by them, and now you guys have to pay. Okay, anyway, that's done. Okay, anything else?
No, I think that's. I think we probably just want clarification in your planning, and
I think Susie already take over everything, and CAWC will still help, but I think they should hand over everything, including all the income, the donation to the city. Okay, and in that way. Okay, CAW is not here for the money. The CAW here want to have a great event, so and let the city to collect everything, but city have to pay for everything yourself this time. Okay, that's it. Okay, and there will be, since no money, they have no donation, so city will be on your own. Very good. Okay, then we clarify all these things. So in that way, this will be off anything. City take over, including this year and next year. Okay, we want to continue great event. Okay, so I very confident Susie and some of the members of CAWC and Roseanne, okay, let's continue put this great event, have people united together. Okay, so anyway, any other thing you want to have, Mother May I?
No.
Okay, and do you have anything have Mother May I? No? Then I won't have one. Okay, I think one thing is we need to clarify about the council member conduct. Okay, I need to clarify how the council member talking to staff, how the council member doing the town hall meeting, how the council member deal with the city manager, and how the council member come to city hall, including myself, all 5 members should have a guideline in detail, and let's check about any other city, so we can have a code of conduct, so in that way we don't have issue, to have a lot of staff feel like harassed and decide to resign. Okay, so hopefully in that way they understand, they're here to work, not here to get some kind of pushover, this and that. We want to have a happy family, and this apply to all 5 city council and the future city council elect. They all have to do the same thing. So, and this is my Mother May I, and request city manager to go into a city attorney, checking all other city in detail code of conduct. Okay, and then in that way, and next meeting come into discussion by all the city council to approve, item by item. This is the a rule for all the city council to have their conduct. So do I have anybody against this?
So just for clarification, you mentioned town halls. What is the issue with town halls?
Okay.
I know you try to block me and Ollie's town halls internally, but
nobody block anybody. Okay, and you won't do the town hall, but don't waste the city staff time, and if all 5 city council continue to do the town hall meeting with all request staff to be there, I don't think they have a time to do their real business to serve the residents.
Mr. Mayor, it's not a waste of time to have staff interact with our residents.
And my understanding, town hall meeting is about, but again, this is just a Mother May I. He can bring back, and you guys can say, hey, wow, I still want the city, to participate and promote for us. You guys can continue to.
Let's do a roll call.
So anyway, this is my Mother May I. Okay,
I'd like to request an amendment to that, just excluding the town halls.
No, I think everything should be included, but you can vote it out. Okay, you go ahead. Okay.
Before I second it, I just want to say that it's going to include several items in there, and so at that point, we should have discussion. I mean, we can dissect it, maybe make some changes to it. But I think at that point, because there's a list of things that should be included in this the rules of conduct with our city council members. So I'm going to second based on that.
Yes, this is just bring it back, and you guys want anything you can add or delete or this and that. But at least we have a rule of in detail. So in that way, much easier for our city attorney and city manager to say, and this is not only for us, this is for the future's sake.
Well, I think you're trying to limit town halls.
Town hall is
you try to do that before.
Town halls up.
There's a lot more to this.
Yeah, they have.
There's a lot of issues that need to be addressed. And I think it's important that we do this.
Yeah, because
it's just the Mother May I, and we could come back with an agenda and we can discuss it.
Yeah.
And at that point, during the time that it comes back on the agenda, and if it doesn't pass, then it doesn't pass.
Yeah, this is just a Mother May I.
I don't understand I don't understand the issue with the taxpayers coming to town halls. You don't think that the people who elected you to office want to know what's going on in their city?
No. Okay, if you want town hall continue to do the way like this, you can put the reason, and next time we say okay, this is the way, everybody agree, then we continue. Then we all 5 of city council all can do the same thing.
But you want to limit us because you told city staff multiple times.
No, I'm talking about the staff time. I'm not talking about limit. Okay.
If you remove town halls, I'll support it, but
me too.
Remove town halls from the list of within the scope of the Mother May I. If you made the motion, if you agree to remove it.
Okay, let's do this. Let's do this. Okay, I'm done. Okay, I want to make sure next meeting we have a code of conduct for our city council member, including myself, 5, how to deal with the staff, how to talk to the staff, how to talk to city manager. Okay, and let's start with this one. And I'm going to remove the town halls right now. So do I have anybody against this? If no, okay, then let's go to next meeting and to come out, okay, with a code of conduct. So and that if we can discuss each of the detail, then we can all abide by the rule of a code of conduct for the behavior of a council member. Okay? No opposition? Okay, 4-0. Thank you so much. Any about it? Want anything? Okay, and do I have a motion to adjourn?
I'll move to adjourn.
Okay, and have a second? Nobody second? You want to continue the meeting? No second? No second? You want to continue? I second. I want to go home. Okay, have a great night and good night, everybody. Okay, meeting adjourned.